Reggie, I just sold my car online.
Let's go, Grandpa. Wait, you did?
Yep, on Carvana. Just put in the license plate, answered a few questions, got an offer in minutes. Easier than setting up that new digital picture frame.
You don't say.
Yeah, they're even picking it up tomorrow. Talk about fast.
Wow, way to go. So, about that picture frame.
Forget about it. Until Carvana makes one, I'm not interested.
Car selling made easy. On
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Pablo in Massachusetts. You're on the other side of midnight with Lionel.
How you doing, Lionel?
How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. I heard about a sighting. Well, I've heard many about these orbs in Queens, New York. I saw something in the year 1994 that to this day I don't know what it was. And I don't know what swamp gas is. I never seen what swamp gas is.
I don't even know where a swamp is.
So I'm an avid cigar smoker, and I used to go to the lake in Fresh Meadows in Casino Park, and I would park in front of this man-made lake. And it was kind of a thing I used to do every time. I used to close my store, and I would go park there because my wife hates the smell of cigars.
Okay.
So one night, I'm parked there. I used to have an old Volvo, a 1986 Volvo station wagon that my kids hated because around that area there's a cemetery. And every time my wife used to drive by that area, the electronics would go crazy. And my kids would always say, that these were ghosts that were from the cemetery. But at this particular night, I'm smoking a cigar. The car starts doing this weird, the locks would open and close, open and close, open and close, and the lights would go on and off, on and off. I thought it was an electrical. It just happens to be that every time we were around that area, it would happen. Well, this night it happened. But what I saw, I still cannot explain today. From beneath the lake, I saw like a turquoise aqua light come from beneath the lake. And I was like, when did they install lights in there? I thought it was, that they installed lights for visual effect. I don't know. But the lights got brighter. And from within the lake came out like these greenish white orbs. They came out of the water. And again, I thought it was lights. But you know how when you shine the light, there's like a beam.
Right.
It wasn't a beam. It was like these balls, like the size of like a basketball. It was 4 balls came out of the lake, went up as high as the tree line, and they started like spinning counterclockwise towards like 12, and then again the other way. And then it stood there, and there was a lady that had her dog there, and she got frightened.
Yeah.
And I was just mesmerized by it because, again, I didn't believe in UFOs and none of that stuff. I thought it was some kind of like visual effect. But what struck me was that the vehicle was going crazy. It made no sound, but it did have like I don't know how to explain it, like a hum.
Right.
That you would feel in your body, but it didn't move anything. And after they did, it lasted like about 30 or 40 seconds, it going back and forth in the air. They went back into the lake and disappeared. I went home and I told my wife about this, And, there's a running joke that maybe they spiced up that cigar.
Yeah, right.
But
that didn't happen. You saw that.
I saw it. And then, there's a horse farm around there. And I talked to this old man, because one time I lost my dog. I had a Labrador Retriever.
Mm-hmm.
That it was one of these dogs, no matter, it was an escape artist.
Right.
And managed to go to that old man's farm. And I was looking around, and I found that the old man had tied it next to, like, this white picket fence. And I went to pick up the dog, and I told them about this anomaly that I saw. And he told me, oh, that's quite common around here. As a matter of fact, it was in the newspaper that out of that lake, a UFO came out. And I believe he said it was in the late 60s or the late 70s. At that time, the internet was in its infancy. I mean, I didn't have a computer, but there was like AOL, I believe, was around. Later on, this thing has never left my mind. Later on, when the internet was available, and what the old man told me, yes, that it's true, that there was a big sighting right there in Kissimmee Park in Fresh Meadows. And I don't know, because I tend not to tell people because they make fun of you.
No, don't.
And
did you happen to talk
to my uncle?
Did you happen to talk to that lady Pablo, the woman you saw who might have seen it, was frightened? Did you talk to her?
I never saw that lady again.
But did you talk to her that night?
Pug that she was with.
Did you ever talk to her that night?
No,
okay.
Because she was very to herself, but she ran. She ran out of there.
That's a good sign when they're running. Now, interesting, in the past, I don't know when, this might have been since day one, but we're hearing more and more about people on, imagine this, you're on the bridge of a ship, like a aircraft carrier or something, and all of a sudden you're seeing either a craft or an orb or whatever you want to call it hit the water, sometimes not even almost making a splash, and then traveling. Think about this, underwater at speeds that almost defy it. You know that if you shoot a bullet into the water, it just stops. It'll stop a bullet, no matter how high powered. So this will traverse water as though seemingly at the same speed in air. It's like the water means nothing to it. It doesn't mean anything. One of the it's hard to put this together, but do you understand that what they believe happens, what propels these things? Maybe not so much for the water, but I guess, but anything else, I guess I would imagine. Einstein, you know what time space is, right? Einstein believed in this fourth dimension was time space. It wasn't. It was where the space is curved. It dimples. That when there's a planet or something that depresses, it's like making a curvature. Almost if I were to put a bowling ball, let's take
it's like punching a mattress.
Exactly. Let's say you have a mattress and I put a bowling ball right in the middle. And then I take a ping pong ball and I roll it across. The ping pong ball will find the indentation and spin around it. That's what gravity is. That's how planets circle others. But that same theory, so this guy Bob Lazar and others have said that they believe that these craft are able to focus, and I'm paraphrasing this probably poorly, but that these craft can focus a beam or some type of a beam
I've heard him
where
say
you
that.
can warp the time space. So that what happens is instead of you traveling via propulsion, you're falling. It's you create it's like you're falling by virtue everywhere in front of your craft, you make an indentation and you're following it. You also create.
Right, he says that the craft gets vertical and it has like 3 prongs on the bottom.
Yes. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. Right.
Right, because I've seen a lot about because of this thing. Everybody tells me that was swamp gas.
Well, see, I don't understand. Here is the story. Swamp gas to me is, and again, I'm not even sure I've seen a swamp, but I imagine it to look kind of like steam or something. Swamp gas does not involve 3 or 4 spheres lined up in parallel or in a series that fire and disappear and are lighted. That's not gas. I don't know where that was.
I've also heard something called ball lightning.
Yeah.
I've never seen that either.
Yeah, nice try. Or the planet Venus. Or a weather balloon. They've been trying this forever. But here is what's happening. If you could sit down and let's say, Pablo, I got one of these things for you. Ask him what you want. And you would say, was there anybody in this? Is this an orb? Is this like a probe? Is this something you send out? Stanton Friedman, one time I spoke to, he believes that it's almost like you're on a mothership, like you're on an aircraft carrier. And the aircraft carrier has planes on it, and they land on it, and there's a mothership out there, and that these are little. He had this as a kind of a theory. But you want to know, what am I seeing? Is this light? Is this a craft? Are you collecting data?
That's what perplexed me is that when I was seeing this thing, it was like a light.
Right.
There was no surface to it.
Right.
It was just like a glowing light.
Right.
I really couldn't see through it, but they didn't have like a structure.
Right. It's like, imagine me having like having a light bulb. I turn it on and I remove the light bulb, but the light's still there. It doesn't. It defies everything. Wouldn't you love to sit down?
Can I tell you one more thing?
Please, please.
One time I had moved from Fresh Meadows. I bought a house in East Elmhurst, and I was seeing this purple light reflecting off the clouds. And I was like, that's it. And I followed, through the streets, this purple light. And it happened to be that this thing I was seeing in the sky was the science center projecting a purple light into the sky.
Okay.
Which actually disappointed me because I thought maybe I nailed it, but not to avail. This was purple, not.
Well, let me tell you one thing. First, never tell anybody anything, because people have this idea. They do not want. See, let me tell you something. I know you're telling me the truth. I know that what you're telling me you saw. And I can tell you, I've heard people talk, whenever they testify about something, you give too many specifics. You tell me the year of your Volvo, where it were, you tell me with this, with a cigar, where it was in the what it looked like. You describe things with such complexity that it could only be from somebody who actually saw this. Now, I don't know what it is. Remember, your job is not to define or to diagnose anything. You're not supposed to say where it's from, what it wants, nothing. You're just telling me what you saw.
Can I make one more statement?
Yes, sir.
A lot of people say, like Neil deGrasse Tyson always is saying, where everybody has a camera in their pocket.
Yeah.
Why haven't they taken a photograph of this anomaly in the sky? Well, I don't know if you've tried it. Have you ever tried to even take a picture of the moon with your phone?
I know. No.
It's difficult.
Yes, right. First of all, you can't
It
find
comes
it.
out like a little speck.
Right. First of all,
Imagine
right.
something smaller than that.
Right. And you might also find out, believe it or not, one day, some of these things may not actually show up. Pablo, I must run. Promise me this. You will call me back again. It was a pleasure speaking with you, sir. And I believe
Likewise,
everything you said. Everything. I believe it 100%. All
Have
the
a good morning, sir.
All the best, my friend.